At 9:56 a.m., a 20-year-old girl texted her mom, "There's smoke. I can't breathe. I love you." That was the last thing she ever said. Two subway trains, locked doors, no alarms, 192 people burned alive, underground, and no one came. This is the true horror of the Daegu Subway Massacre. The subway that burned alive. It's a cold Tuesday morning, February 18th, 2003. The Daegu subway station is alive with commuters, students with backpacks, nurses in uniform, businessmen tapping on flip phones. Two trains pass each other, heading in opposite directions. It's just another day in South Korea's third largest city. At 9:53 a.m., 56-year-old Kim Dae-han, a former taxi driver with a history of mental illness, boards train 1079. He's carrying a small milk carton, but it's not milk, it's gasoline. Inside, a lighter. His plan? Arson-suicide. Kim had tried to kill himself before. He'd been in and out of psychiatric care. But that morning, something darker took hold. He walks to the middle of the train. He pours the fuel. And without a word, he lights it. Within seconds, the train car is ablaze. Flames shoot across the vinyl seats. Toxic black smoke erupts. Panic. Screaming. Fire feeds on everything. Plastic. Fabric. Human skin. Passengers claw at the doors. But the conductor, paralyzed with fear, doesn't release the automatic locks. The smoke is thick, poisonous, suffocating. In under 2 minutes, the entire train is engulfed. And then, it gets worse. At 9:55 a.m., another train, train 1080, pulls into Junggangno station. The conductor, Lee Seng-yeol, sees smoke, hears screaming, but instead of reversing immediately, he opens the doors. Smoke rushes in. Fire finds new air. And now, 2 trains are doomed. By 10 a.m., survivors are crawling, blinded, burning. The smoke is so thick they can't find the exits. Many collapse on the spot. Real voices from the fire survivor. Shin Hyun-ju, a 20-year-old student, later said, "We heard a scream, then saw a man covered in fire run past our car. The lights flickered, then everything went black. People started crying, screaming. I crawled under bodies. I couldn't breathe." Another survivor, Nurse Kim Ji-yoon, recalled, "I helped 2 elderly women out, then turned back for my friend, but the smoke swallowed her. I couldn't see. I couldn't hear her anymore." Firefighters arrived, but communications failed. The station had no sprinklers, no smoke control, no emergency lighting. Worst of all, the power was cut, doors sealed shut, trapping hundreds inside. At 10:07 a.m., the conductor of train 1080 flees the control cabin and removes the train's key, shutting down the electrical system. That decision seals dozens of doors and dooms over 70 people still alive. One security camera, later released, shows a young man pounding a door, choking, falling. That's the last frame. The rest is black. Aftermath, ashes, anger, and the man who lit the fuse. The fire burned for over 2 hours. When it was extinguished, rescuers found a scene of hell. Burned corpses stacked at doors. People who died clutching one another. Entire families gone. Bodies were so charred that only DNA and dental records could identify them. Some were never found, just ashes and teeth. The official death toll: 192 dead, 151 injured, countless emotionally destroyed. The arsonist, Kim Dae-han, survived with burns. He was arrested and sentenced to life in prison, but died in 2004 from complications. The conductors, both were charged, one sentenced to 5 years for negligence. Survivors and families protested. 5 years? My daughter is gone forever. The city upgraded its safety systems, finally installing fireproof materials, sprinklers, emergency exits, smoke control. Too little, too late. The text that never got answered. One girl texted her mother, "Something's wrong with the train. There's smoke. I love you." Her mother responded, "Get out. Get out now." She never heard from her daughter again. Another message, saved forever. "It's so dark. Mom, I can't breathe." And that was the subway that burned alive. Screamers. February 18th, 2003. A tunnel-turned tomb beneath Daegu. 192 souls taken not by war or plague, but by fear, fire, and failure. Doors that wouldn't open. Alarms that never rang. And a system that couldn't save them. If you're still breathing with me, hit that subscribe. Smash the bell. Don't miss the next descent into true horror. And tell me, would you have followed the smoke or waited in the dark? I'll be reading.